Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Aurora Sports Park for this 16U Power Pool Championship match between Athletics Mercado and the Tennessee Fury Platinum. Now, let's meet tonight's teams. First, the non-starters for Athletics Mercado. Number 1, Alexi Sosa. Number 28, Destiny Nori. Number 24, Riley White. And number 57, Shannon Bustamante.
At the Aurora Sports Park in Aurora, Colorado, as Triple Crown presents the Sparkler Fireworks, the world's largest softball event. We're going to crown a 16U Power Pool champion tonight. It is the Athletics Mercado out of California and the Tennessee Fury out of Chattanooga. Here's a few more details on this event. Again, the 15th year for the Sparkler, 48 years for the Fireworks, 900 teams from all 50 states, more than 500 college coaches playing 3,000 games over 133 fields. And welcome back to Aurora. Again, I'm Brett Dolan with Mackenzie Fowler, the two-time All-American pitcher at Arizona. We had a very competitive, entertaining 14U game. What are you expecting out of this 16U contest?
Exactly the same thing. This is two premier teams. This is the Athletics Mercado team, who has been one of the most premier teams in the nation. This is a team that won 12U and 14U national championships. Now they're a 16U team. Almost every player is committed to a big-time school. And Tennessee Fury, almost half of their team is committed to a school as well. You know, they wanted to show their stuff on the big stage tonight.
These two teams used to going very deep in tournaments. They're in the championship game tonight. Let's introduce you to the third member of our crew, Brittany Fowler.
Thanks, guys. There's a notable history with these two teams at this tournament specifically. The Athletics were 14U champs for 2 years in a row, and then the Fury were the 16U runner-ups. And the teams haven't changed much, maybe by 1 or 2 players. So it's going to be a really fun night of softball.
Said Brittany. Let's take a look at the lineups here from the SoCal As. Jasmine Parachica will lead off. Then it's Quincy Lilio. Garcia, designated player at third. Kinsey Hansen will catch. Paige Smith will be at third base. Then you've got the pitcher, Mata Faapito, followed by Kayla Edwards, Raylene Gutierrez, Presley Pylon, just part of the lineup for the SoCal As. So Tennessee Fury will be the home team. Again, they're based out of Chattanooga. We'll take a look at their defensive alignment here in just a moment, as well as their pitcher in the circle here in the 16U championship game. So we saw the 14Us just finish things off, and here is Shelby Walters warming up for the Fury.
2018 commit to Duke. Throws about in the low 60s, 63, can touch 66 miles an hour. We're talking to Coach Sam Thomas before the game. He said she can just throw a little bit of everything. Sometimes I ask her before the game, what's working for you? She said, anything. I'll throw it all. So look for her to use all 4 quadrants and a couple of speeds as well.
You know, the fun part about Duke is they're still building their softball field. I mean, that will be a brand new program.
Really exciting time for Duke softball. And I was excited when they announced a couple years ago that they were going to have a team and they'll be competing next season. And so she'll be able to be a part in a couple of years of some big time history at a big ACC school.
Let's take a look at the defense behind her for the Tennessee Fury. Cheyenne Sheffield, all kinds of speed in left. Jenna Johnson in center. Logan Leo will be in right field. Around the diamond, third to first. Woodside, Willingham, Dunn, and Keller Smith. Henry behind the plate, and again, Shelby Walters in the circle for the Tennessee Fury. We've had a little bit of everything weather-wise today. Bright sunshine, we've had rain, we've had winds, but we're ready for softball. And the coach for the Tennessee Fury, Sam Thomas, He's been doing this a long time. His fellow assistant Joe Fowler and he have been coaching together for more than 20 years. Their kids are long since gone. They're still coaching for the love of the game. Jasmine Parachica will lead off. And we're underway here in the 16U game. And by the way, if that name sounds familiar, you're hearing Parachica. Well, yes, her father, Tony, is the third base coach for the Arizona Diamondbacks. She'll take one a little bit high. She committed to the University of Arizona as an 8th grader. She's got that Wildcat on her jersey. She's got the block A.
Yeah, like you said, Dad, a coach at the Arizona Diamondbacks, so fits in nicely and will be going to the state of Arizona.
So Shelby Walters has fired on the first 3 pitches to Jasmine. Mom is Natalie, by the way. We identified Dad, got to identify Mom as well. And Walters misses on the first 4 to start the game, and Parachica is aboard.
Now batting left fielder number 43, Quincy Lilio.
Quincy Lilio steps in, the left fielder. She is committed to the University of Oklahoma, the reigning national champions. She's got the OU on her sleeve as well, playing for the SoCal As. And that's the game's first strike. For these teams that have played together, these A's, they've had so much success, as you heard Brittany discuss. Quincy blowing bubbles as she awaits the pitch. Chops one foul wide at third base. Going without the batting gloves is Quincy. Third baseman Woodside way in, trying to take away the slap of the bunt. There's a chopper again wide at third base.
And right there you can see the slap and run action right there. Parachica was on the move with the pitch. Trying to create some speed at the top of the lineup.
So a leadoff base on balls to start our 16U game. That didn't miss by much. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Lilio. There's the Fury players in their dugout trying to root on their teammate. Shelby Walters in the circle. Ground ball rolled in the right. It takes a big hop off the lip, but played well by Logan Leo out there in right to keep that ball maybe from getting behind him.
Number 19, Alyssa Garcia.
And again, a slap and run. Even though 2 strikes, Parachica was on the move. Kind of created a little havoc for second baseman Dunn. Had to deal with the runner. And you can see right there, she's stealing right away. It's a good job to get out of the way from the ball. And it just kind of creates some havoc. Could have been a double play, but because Parachica was in motion, makes a little bit of a chaotic things in the first 2 batters.
And now Alyssa Garcia steps in. One thing that caught my attention, talking about this Tennessee Fury team, and now a quick meeting. Coach Mercado is going to talk with Garcia. For the Fury, they've just hit a ton of home runs this year. You know, they like to get their cracks, but first of all, they got to contend with a couple of speedy runners on the bases. Parachica and Lilio. Garcia had a father who played minor league baseball for the Mariners. She's batting 3-hole for this team. Cuts and misses. And now Lilio got too far off the bag, and when the throw went to first, both runners moved up. So Paris Chica to third and Lilio to second.
Well, you can see Perez Chica at second base. She's not going, but Lilio was stealing. It almost looked like this was something that they planned to do on purpose. Lilio draws a throw over at first base, allows Perez Chica to get over to third base safely, and then Lilio follows suit. Now 2 runners in scoring position.
I think Henry, the catcher, you saw her reaction. She wondered why Keller Smith didn't throw down to second. Garcia has committed to UCLA. There's only one player on this A's team that hasn't committed, and she just joined the team. A smash to third. Woodside, a nice play to look Paris Chica back and get the first out.
Now batting catcher number 7, Mackenzie
Good play
Henry.
by Caitlyn Woodside at third base.
And it makes that double steal so much more important, because if Perez Chica had been at second base, that could have potentially been a double play.
Kinsey Hansen, the catcher, a Norco, California kid who's committed to Oklahoma, has stepped in. How many Oklahoma commits have we seen between last night's All-American game and the 16Us?
A bunch. It's a sign of a really good program, just continuing to reload each and every year with the top talent in the nation.
You could go out to California and get Kinsey Hansen from Norco. And by the way, Kenzie, let's talk about Kenzie. She wants to be an ESPN sportscaster and analyst at some point. Ground ball up the middle. Willingham, the shortstop, has got it. The out is recorded, but Paris Chica will score the game's first run for the SoCal As.
Now batting number 9, Paige Smith.
So Walter's able to get that second out. The first run comes across. And Paige Smith, the third baseman, is the next one in. She's committed to the University of Mississippi, Ole Miss. That one nearly got her on the back leg. So these A's players, they've already won a couple of national championships, looking to win this 16U matchup today. That is a fair ball, and that's an easy play for Keller Smith. So 3 ground ball outs after the first 2 runners reached. But the Athletics won, and the Tennessee Fury coming into bat.
So you love your game? So does he. You say ain't nobody gonna work harder? He said the same thing. You get an hour of training in before the sun even comes up, plenty of early risers out there. You got the gear, they got the gear. You got a secret weapon, this dude doesn't need one. See, this isn't just a game of inches, this is a game of ounces. And the next ounce you give might just be the one the other guy doesn't. Gatorade, rehydrate, replenish, and refuel.
Fireworks on ESPN, brought to you by Triple Crown Sports, by Gatorade, and by the NFCA. We're in Aurora, Colorado, the 16U Power Pool Championship game. Here's the lineup for the Tennessee Fury. Jenna Johnson leads off, and it's Willingham, Logaleo. Henry will be the cleanup hitter. Keller Smith at first base. Harding will be the extra hitter. Cheyenne Sheffield in left. Dunn will be at second base. Caitlyn Woodside at third base. Here's the pitcher, Matafa Pito for the Athletics.
Jenna Johnson.
2019 commit to New Mexico State. He's going to throw a screwball, drop ball, and a changeup. Throws the mid to low 60s, 62, can touch 65 miles an hour. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see multiple pitchers in this game from both staffs.
Give everybody a chance to showcase a couple of innings, possibly as Jenna Johnson takes the ball. Good hard fastball for a strike to Johnson. A little bit high, 2-1. Johnson is committed to Alabama. Daughter of Keith and Heather. Lifting one to right. Coming on is Edwards to make the catch. We're out number 1.
Now batting shortstop.
So Kayla Edwards with the play.
Josie Willingham.
And brings up the shortstop, Josie Willingham, to face Fa'apito. Willingham from Jackson, Tennessee. She's committed to the University of Tennessee. So a 1-0 SoCal lead. A's able to get a run at the top of the first.
See all the commitments and schools that these players are going to. Only every player on the SoCal Athletics except for one is committed to a school. But Tennessee Fury, only about half of their team, so still looking to kind of shine their light, get some attention from all of these coaches at this big recruiting tournament this weekend.
Well, both of these teams have had so much success in recent years. I guess it's fitting that they'll go head-to-head here for a 16U Power Pool Championship game. Ball stroked well foul down that left field side. Let's take a look at the defense employed here by the A's. Lilio in left, Parachica in center, Edwards in right. We've seen her made a play. Smith, Curro, Pylon, and Gutierrez around the diamond. Hansen catching Fa'apito. A liner on one bounce. It'll get away from Pylon, and Willingham will reach. Tennessee Fury players enjoy their first base runner here in the bottom of the first.
Aaliyah Logaleo.
Aaliyah Logaleo steps in. She was nice enough to phonetically spell her name out for us in our bios, and yet we still had to go check.
She laughed as if it happens a lot, so I felt a little better about that.
I think she's used to it. A Nashville kid. Boy, Fa'apito's bringing the gas with those fastballs.
Yeah, especially as the sun goes down. I always love the night games as a pitcher. It always feels like you can throw it a little bit harder just because the sun's not out.
What in the world is that? We got a rally bird in the dugout? Snap toss down to first. Willingham back in. What is that? I need to know.
Penguin.
Brittany, find out what in the world that thing is. There's a giraffe. Pitch is fouled back off the top of the screen. Lights are on. They've taken effect here in the nightcap, and there's all the. So the Penguin is for hits, and the giraffe is for home runs. I think I like the giraffe better.
Nothing against Penguins.
Nothing. Pylon, did she try and make the play? She didn't get the out. She tried to tag Willingham. Umpires are going to confer.
Well, you can see the first base umpire holding a legal pitch. A little bit of a couple of misplays at second base for the SoCal Athletics. Fury gets a couple of runners on, but when there's an illegal pitch called, typically you get the choice of taking the illegal pitch or taking the result of the play. like there's just going to be a conference to make sure everyone's on the same page.
Coach Mercado comes out to the mound. All right, we're going to take a look at the pitch, and the pitching expert to my right will tell me what she sees.
You can see maybe a little bit of a hop. It's the only thing I saw there out of her delivery with her right foot, pivot foot. Cannot leave the ground. Looked like it left just a little bit, but Tennessee Fury was on the right side of that play, so they're going to take the result, eliminate the illegal pitch, and move on to their next hitter.
That would be Mackenzie Henry. Should be a 2018 grad, and she looks at a strike. Daughter of Andy and Michelle. She's out of Knoxville, the team based out of Chattanooga. One ball, then a strike. Couple of runners on, couple of free base runners for the Fury here in the bottom of the first. Line drive off the glove of Pito, and she's going to get the out at first. What a play, just to get a glove on that smash.
Now batting number 58, Kaya Killer Smith.
This ball is absolutely lasered. She doesn't even move her glove. That's where the ball just is hit right to it.
How did she play the one hop with the bare hand off that? She didn't even know where it was. She turned around and caught it with a bare hand on a bounce. Kyla Keller Smith will be retired by pylon from her second base position. So a couple of free base runners. The Fury unable to score. It's 1-0 A's after one. A lot of softball to be played on those fields here in Aurora. 1-0 SoCal A's after one inning. The Colorado Sparkler and Fireworks is on Twitter. Follow tournament news to get the latest updates using the handle @COSparkfire, or join the conversation using the hashtag #COSparkfire. Daytime trying to turn into night here in the Denver area. We've seen a little bit of everything between strong winds, light rains, bright sunshine, now cooler temperatures. But some very good softball, including the 14U game that preceded us with a couple of Tampa Mustangs teams. 8-5 win for Coach TJ over Henniger. Now in the 16 game, the SoCal A's Mercado against the Tennessee Fury. Here's the pitcher, Matafa Pito, facing her counterpart, Shelby Walters. A little bit low, it's 2-0. All the A's girls filling out their sheets, their bios for us, put Peace, Love, Mercado at some point across the top. So we had to know from Coach Mercado, what is that all about? That's a foul ball. And he goes, I don't know. He goes, they're having fun with me. They've been apart for a while from Coach Mercado, and you've been around him his daughters for a long time.
Yeah, Coach David Mercado, 11 teams in the SoCal Athletics organization. He's been the head of the organization through it all, and of course had 2 daughters, Danica and Mo, both playing in the Pac-12 conference, just finishing their careers this last season.
Danica at Oregon, All-American. Pitch misses to make it 3-1.
I joked with him before the game. I said, "What are you going to do now?" He said, "Well, I got 130 other girls to look after."
It never stops.
I said, "It's not the same, though." You're right. It's not the same.
That's well said, right? Once the daughters leave, and as we discussed with the Tennessee Fury as well, Coach's daughters, Sam Thomas and Joe Fowler, long since departed. But they're still here coaching up some different players, even though their daughters are in their 30s.
And it just shows that it's in these coaches' blood. And they love the game of softball, love this process of developing talent through the years.
Pito draws the walk after fouling off several pitches, and she's on to begin the second inning.
Now batting in right fielder number 3, Kayla Edwards.
So Walters walked a leadoff runner in the first. It led to a run. She puts her counterpart on here in the second. And Kayla Edwards, a Temecula, California kid, ready to step in. And there's your sunset in Denver on a beautiful evening.
Yeah, like you talked about, we had the wind, the rain, but it's just settled into a really nice evening.
Edwards will be a 2019 grad as she takes strike 1. Fun story about Kayla Edwards. She is committed to the military academy at West Point. She'll be a second-generation West Point cadet.
That's amazing.
Very proud of that, as she should be.
He's also born in Australia.
She's sporting that eye black tonight. Able to check on that pitch that was down and missed. Yeah, born in Melbourne, Australia, lives in Temecula, California, facing Shelby Walters, who's in the circle for the Tennessee Fury. The second inning of our 16U Power Pool Championship game. Little chopper, and that one's going to find its way into left field. Retrieved by Sheffield, and there's a couple of Athletics on here in the second. Single right between Woodside and Willingham.
Now batting number 55, Raylene Gutierrez.
So Walters will have to work out of a jam here. Raylene Gutierrez from Upland, California, steps in from the left side. Here's a California kid that's already committed to LSU. A little bit high for a ball.
I'm kind of laughing as we look through the bios that these players filled out for us. The majority of the Athletics Mercado players, when filling out their favorite fast pitch player, pick someone on their own team.
That's right.
So Gutierrez's favorite player is Paige Smith.
Pitch right there at the knees for a strike.
Kind of fits. Gutierrez the first baseman and Smith the third baseman.
Notice that too. These are girls that have played a lot of games together in their softball careers. A's have a chance to add to their 1-0 lead. A little tapper to short. Willingham, one play across the diamond to first. Gets Gutierrez. Both runners move up. Pinch runner for Pito at third. Kayla Edwards down at second.
Now batting number 29, Reagan Shane. Correction.
Presley
99.
Pylon, the second baseman. Number 99 steps in. Here's another LSU product. So back-to-back Go Tigers in this lineup for the SoCal As. Another left-hander, wide open stance, and takes a pitch down the chute for a strike. She wants to give a shout out to Alan Pylon, who will be watching from home, smiley face. So there's your shout out, Alan.
I gotta add the smiley face.
With the smiley face. Roller to the right side. A quick out, but a run will score. So it's a 2-0 game. A couple of RBI bounce outs here for SoCal. Get them on, get them over, get them in, I guess.
Yeah, just really simple softball. The key is to get that leadoff runner on. And both times, first inning Paris Chica and then this inning Fapito were both the leadoff batters and got on first base via the walk and the free pass.
Reagan Shane will bat, an extra hitter in this lineup for SoCal. Norco, California kid, 2019 grad, and looks at a pitch for a ball. Edwards at third with 2 outs. Shane looks at a strike right down the chute. There's Edwards. She got the base hit to left field. Single tallies at the first and second innings for the SoCal A's. Big cut from Reagan Shane. Two balls and 2 strikes. Reagan Shane trying to continue this inning and turn this lineup over. See that target set up on that outside corner. Count is going full. So Walters has walked a pair. They both scored. Trying to end this second inning right here. Smith able to spoil it and see another. Shelby Walters ready to uncork another 3-2 pitch. Here comes the payoff. Slapped off the screen by Shane, and will continue on in this sequence.
Shane, the one lone player for the Athletics Mercado that has not committed to a school yet. So if you're looking, kind of circle her name and see where she ends up.
She's trying to battle and get on here. Little chopper. Tough play at third. Woodside, no chance to get Shane down the line across to score as Edwards. It's a 3-0 game. Thought Woodside did everything she could to charge and scoop and throw on the run.
It's a great at bat as well. Look at this bounce that she gets coming out of the left side. That's the key to a slap. When you can get that bounce, it doesn't matter where it's going to be on the field. If you can get the ball to bounce close to home plate and then stay in the air a long time, you almost walk to first base.
On a replay, you saw Shane. She was 10 feet past the bag once the throw arrived to Keller Smith. Here's Jasmine Parachika trying to bunt with 2 outs and bunts 1 foul.
It's so fun about softball. Bases are 60 feet. It kind of adds that slapping factor where a lot of speed can create a lot of chaos. Use the ground, use the hard infield, the dirt.
3 runs on 3 singles, so the small ball has worked. Paris Chica trying to tap that one third base side again, but she's down 0-2.
Yeah, they've scored 3 runs and we haven't had a ball leave the infield.
Paris Chica, the leadoff hitter, walked to start this game. She would swipe third base and that double steal. That was a big factor in the run of the first. Another chopper. Woodside there waiting, and it took a strong throw to end the inning, but 2 runs come across and a couple of base hits for the SoCal As, and they lead the Fury 3-0 after an inning and a half.
Let's go get 'em. How could I hear ya? Let's go get 'em. I can't get here, you know. Let's go get 'em. Oh, well, crumble. Let's go get 'em. Oh, well, crumble.
But I think more than anything, you know, we all do the same thing, and the proudest thing you ever get to call yourself a coach, and all the young women that we get to help grow up. Because the NFCA was just such a fantastic job of keeping us on our mission and our eye on the ball.
Daytime turning tonight here in Aurora, Colorado. The 16U Power Pool Championship game. The SoCal As up 3-0 over the Tennessee Fury. Will come to bat here in the bottom of the second. We heard about the Tennessee Fury in 3.5 tournaments. Coach Thomas estimates they've hit more than 40 home runs, so maybe they can get a couple of big swings to turn this game around quickly. Kaylee Harding steps in. Murfreesboro, Tennessee native, daughter of Kelly and Sherry. Backing up is the second baseman Pylon, and she'll make the catch. She's been busy at second base.
Yeah, has had a couple of flyouts, a couple of ground outs.
So Harding retired. She wanted to give a shout out to her parents. They're not here, so a lot of these girls traveling with their teammates to get to this point. And there's a good look at the bench, including Coach Thomas.
Sheffield.
Talk about speed a lot in this game for SoCal. Here's an individual we'd like to see turn on the Jets for the Fury in Cheyenne Sheffield. The name sounds familiar. It should. She's got some relatives just as in the Yankee system, Jordan in the Dodgers system, and Tony in the Red Sox organization. So Sheffield's all over the professional ranks.
We were talking to Coach Thomas before the game, and they were laughing because before this game there was the speed competition going on here at the Triple Crown tournament, and Sheffield was bummed out that she couldn't take place in it because she had to play in this game tonight. Wanted to show off her speed and possibly be crowned the fastest player in the tournament.
See if she can put one in the gap and give us a sense of that speed. The Purdue commit behind in the count, 1-2. Pito tried to push that one off the corner a bit, didn't get the call. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Comebacker. Pito has to hurry, but she's able to retire Sheffield for out number 2. Well, there's a lot going on here in Aurora. We had the skills competition. Now it's the home run derby. Get your back, Kenzie. Take a few swings.
I had to have a serious warm-up before I got in there.
A lot of stretching.
Yes. Hopefully we can check back in and see a couple of home runs. We saw a lot of home runs in that last game. Jenna Lord, we were joking from the Tampa Mustangs that she should go over and jump in the competition. Hope she did.
8,
she had 3 home runs in that
Grimes.
game.
Just heard there was somebody that popped 23 home runs in a row in that contest.
Whoa.
Pretty intense. Paxton Grimes in, takes a strike. That's not going to work.
The key is you got to have a good tosser. Want to make sure it's not too lobby. It's got to be
That's
low, a little bit straight. Because I've tried to play it slow pitch, and you cannot hit it if you're a fast pitch player. It's so hard to change your swing.
Paxton Grimes smokes one down the line, but foul. Paxton will go to Tennessee Tech. She's part of a high school state championship team back-to-back years in the state of Georgia. Five in a row have been set down by Fa'apito. A couple of errors cost her 2 base runners in the first inning. But she is throwing some smoke. One thing Fa'apito has not recorded yet, though, is a strikeout. And the count 2-2 to Paxton Grimes here in our 16U Power Pool Championship game in Aurora, Colorado. Triple Crown Sports. Pylon continues to be busy. Hard throw to first, but in time, and that's a perfect inning. As Tennessee Fury sit down in order to the third we go. It's a 3-0 lead for the SoCal As. Three-0 lead for the SoCal As as the home run derby continues on the adjoining field. Let's see one swing. Just want one swing. Hit one out for me. That's not going to work. For the athletes,
taking a look.
That's not going to work. For the athletes who move the game forward, we're creating the fuel to get you there. Tested in the lab, proven on the field. Gatorade, thirst quencher, the proven sports fuel. And if you take some Gatorade right now, you might even hit a home run if you take a big, just like that. That one's probably going to go.
That was good. She was selective, making sure that she was swinging at the right pitches. Don't waste your swings.
It's important, right? Don't get too tired with swinging.
That's right.
Quincy Lilio singled back in the first inning. She's quickly down to the count, 0-2 to start the top of the third. So Shelby Walters has walked the leadoff hitter in the first 2 innings. Both times they've come around to score. She would love to retire Lilio here, and the count will hold it 0-2.
She hasn't given up a hit outside of the infield.
That's the frustrating part, right?
Yeah, the walks and then just base running from the SoCal Athletics have been so good and aggressive and able to get that leadoff runner on and then get her over and score her.
So Lilio just serves one into center. So she's 2 for 2, and she says, take that as far as your infield base hits. The Oklahoma commit with a smile as she's on to start the third inning.
Really
big hole up the middle.
Nice piece of hitting, but you can see where Willingham, the shortstop, was playing. She was playing so shaded over towards third base for a slap hit, trying to protect that chop. A good piece of hitting by Lilio.
So Alyssa Garcia steps in. Up the middle, maybe a chance for a double play. How about the play at second? It's not in time. Willingham thought she had the out. Lilio called safe, a little bit of a bobble maybe. What a diving effort. by Dunn at second.
Catcher, number
I have to
7.
see this again because watching this live, I thought she was out. Great play up the middle, regardless from Dunn. The diving, then she gets it out of her hand, and I think she's out. Yeah, and you can tell that Lilio thinks she's out as well. You see her come off the bag there, but Willingham just doesn't tag her right away. But yeah, that's an out.
That's an out. She had the ball kind of between her wrist and her glove, but it looked like she had control of it. Chapper to first off the bat of Hansen. She will just take the sure out at first base and let both runners move up to get that first out of the inning. But this is what the SoCal A's have done in this game, right? Get them on, get them over, and now we'll see if they can get them in.
Yeah, nothing flashy. Hit a ground ball, find some holes. Good base running.
Paige Smith in. Looks like we'll have a runner out at second base for Garcia.
Now running at second, number 11, Seneca Kuro.
Seneca Kuro will run at second.
Number 9, Paige
Here's
Smith.
Paige Smith, though. See the runners in scoring position. Smith bounced out to first, her only time in. Corner infielders hoping to maybe cut down another run. A's trying to add to their 3-0 lead here in the third inning. Really an open stance there from Smith from the right side. The old miscommit, smashes one to third. Woodside made the play in fair territory. Able to freeze Lilio and get the out.
Great play from Woodside at third base.
34.
She had Lilio right in her face right there, running the bases at third base. Kind of looks her back, checks her, makes sure she doesn't go home with her speed, and then has the cannon of an arm to get over and get the throw off at first base. But you can see Lilio, and Woodside checks her, gets up, throws over to first base, gets the out.
Good shot. Here's Fabito. Walked and scored in the second. She's been nails on the pitching circle in this game. Now a chance to drive in a couple of runs, but there are 2 outs. Be a big lift for Shelby Walters and the Fury to work around those 2 base runners to start this inning, including what looked maybe to be a play at second that they didn't get the benefit of the doubt on. Two balls and no strikes to Fabito. Our first game, the wind was howling out all kinds of home runs, including a 3-homer game from one young lady in the 14U game, but not seeing a long ball in this one. Good strong fastball for strike one.
You can see Fabito when she's standing in to hit the last 3 pitches. She's kind of stood in there, and then the last second takes 2 steps back, trying to possibly bait an inside pitch, kind of make it down the middle. We'll see if she steps back on this pitch.
Pulls her hands back in and chops one to short. There was some contact, I thought. Ball's going to continue into left field, and a couple of runs will score, and it's a 5-0 game. So Fabito able to win that battle and provide a couple of extra runs. She's going to give way as well to a pinch runner.
Now running at first, number 24, Destiny Nori.
Destiny Nori will pinch run.
At the plate, right fielder number 3, Kayla Edwards.
Brings up Kayla Edwards, who singled back in the second. She scored a run. That just missed.
It's a good pitch right there.
Yes.
Walters has done a really good job working the drop ball. We've seen how many ground balls that she's gotten off the bats of the SoCal Athletics. Just a couple have found some holes, but really been working that down stuff.
She has not given up an extra base hit. Another ground ball, bad hop, and it comes up and takes a chunk out of Willingham and unable to get the play at first. even to have a play after that ball came up and hit her in the shoulder. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, tough couple of series over there at shortstop for Willingham. You can see where this ball is going to end up. Watch where it hops up right there. Her glove is down. It's just something hard to anticipate. She have maybe taken one more step up. She may have gotten that ball before it took that bad hop on her.
Raylene Gutierrez will bat as the inning continues. The ball squirted away from Henry, but unable to advance of the runners. Henry still not quite with a handle on that softball. Now she does. So 2 runs across already this inning, scoring with 2 outs, and a chance for Gutierrez to make this inning hurt even more. Maybe hurt more than that ball that hit Willingham in the neck or the shoulder area. And that one's going to trickle into center. The pinch runner, Nori, was rounding third. She slammed on the brakes and went back. Well, the A's are doing their job, Kenzie, just putting the ball on play, but you feel a little bit bad for Walters because the contact has not been hard off the bats.
Yeah, it hasn't been great in 3 straight balls to the shortstop area. A couple of errors, and then that one just finding a little bit of the gap up the middle.
Presley Pylon in. The 8th hitter to bat here in the 3rd inning. SoCal A's out in front, 5-0 already. Bases loaded, no place to put Pylon. A strike is called.
This is back in the last hit, but you could see the pinch runner, Destiny Nori, kind of signaling that that ball was going to be inside. And somehow Gutierrez is able to hit it opposite field, but a little teammate help letting her know where that pitch is coming in.
Last minute help. Chopper to second. The play will be made at first to end a lengthy inning. The Athletics leave the bases loaded, but they do score 2 more to make this a 5-0 game through 2.5 innings. And this is our 16U Power Pool Championship game here in Aurora, Colorado, the 4th of 4 games televised on ESPN3. Turning out to be a beautiful night here in the Denver area, looking over the mountains. Brett Dolan with Mackenzie Fowler and joined by Brittany Fowler as well, giving us stories down on the field and in the dugout. Very competitive 14U game that preceded this one. And SoCal, the A's Mercado team, got to a 5-0 lead over the Tennessee Fury as the Fury try and get something going here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Coach Mercado might be making a few changes. In fact, it looks like he's brought on a new pitcher. Pito was awfully difficult through a couple of innings. Looks like Riley White is the new pitcher, but let's check in with Brittany.
Hey guys, I'm down here with Coach Mercado. Coach, you have so many players, almost all of them committed to colleges already. Do you ever have a problem with maybe girls settling or becoming content when they already know they're going to play in college?
Yeah, funny you say that. I mean, that's our challenge, obviously, for the next 2 years at this girls' level. You know, the level that they play at right now is something that we got to continue to keep up, because I think that is something that we're going to be fighting for the next couple of years. But I think they'll be fine.
Now, before the game, we were asking you, hey, all the girls wrote peace, love, Mercado on top of their bios, and we were like, what's going on with that? You had no idea. Well, you know, we talked to the girls, and they were like, we just love our coach. That's why they put it up there, and they're just like, yeah, we just love to chant peace, love, Mercado. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, it makes me feel good, obviously. You know, like I said, I've been away a couple of weeks with some of the younger teams, so I haven't been with these guys, and I always am with these guys. So it's nice to be, you know, nice to be loved, I guess. So.
Thanks, Coach.
Of course it's nice to be loved. I want to come back to that thought, though, about the challenge of maintaining motivation with so many of these players committed. But meanwhile, we've got a new pitcher on the mound. as Caitlyn Woodside steps in to face Riley White, a 2020 grad out of New Jersey. Committed to the University of Tennessee. Here's Woodside, who's been busy at third base, getting her first at bat in this game. Good look at Riley White. She's missed again, misfired on her first 3. So Riley White, the Tennessee commit. You see the Tennessee, the T right there on her jersey. Looking for a first strike in relief of Fapito, working with a 5-0 lead here in the 3rd inning. That one not even close, so Woodside on to start the 3rd inning with a free pass. Woodside, who's not committed yet, able to get on base.
I think going back to your thought, talking about the interview with Brittany, and majority of these players are already committed. And I think it is hard because you try to think long term. I'm going to go to college, my dream school, but it's still a couple of years away, and there's still a lot of work and improvement that has to be made from the time that you commit to the time that you arrive on campus.
Now batting number
part
88,
of that, I believe,
Jenna
has to be
Johnson.
playing in tournaments like this where you're playing competition from all over the country so that you're not playing against lesser competition as Jenna Johnson comes in. But part of it is, Mackenzie, just that individual mentality of what do I need to do today to become a better player?
Absolutely. Every day trying to get a little bit better and never being satisfied. But it's hard as a coach. You can kind of see the frustration that he has. Yeah, that's a struggle that we have. It has to do with the early committing that we see in the game right now in college softball and club softball. It's a hard thing to kind of maneuver.
It's a slightly obstructed view for our PA announcer. They can see just enough, I guess. They're out of the elements, though. White needs a strike. In fact, that one went off the glove of Hansen, but didn't roll far enough away for Woodside to advance. So what would your advice be to these young players that have already committed, that either have several years of high school remaining or club ball? And I'll get to that in a second. Comebacker, lead runner retired, but no chance for a double play as Johnson beats it at first base. What would you tell some of these young players that have another couple of years of playing as far as the motivation and what they need to do before they get to college?
Yeah, I would say just put your head down and work, because there can be a lot of added pressure through your careers. You're gonna have a target on your back if you have that commitment. You see it right there on the jersey, on the right arm. But put your head down and work and try to ignore the noise and be the best player that you can be, so that way you are ready to go once you arrive as a freshman at whatever campus that you're going to.
Just some of the coaches on hand in the hospitality room. It looks like it's barbecue tonight. There it is. We missed out on that.
I know. It's all right, we were watching softball.
Now that, you may have to, you do the 3rd inning. I'm gonna go get some of that sausage.
Yesterday we had funnel cakes that were being teased, and was that hot dogs, sausages?
I think I could get there and back in the 60-second break. I'm pretty sure I could. 1 on, 1 out, but a 3-0 count to Willingham, the 2-hole hitter here for the Fury, as they try to get on the board, and they're gonna have a couple of free base runners this inning. We talked about Triple Crown. It's not just high school softball. This is what they've got going on next year in Puerto Vallarta. In Mexico, you see the teams in there, Texas and Tennessee, part of what Triple Crown produces. Pool looks pretty good too, by the way, but that's in Puerto Vallarta next February. 2 different weeks. What a great way to really kickstart the softball season, to get a trip down to Puerto Vallarta and play some incredibly talented teams.
I had the first tournament down there this year. It was a phenomenal, like you said, way to start out the season. First game of the tournament was Oklahoma and Auburn, the matchup that was the 2016 national championship, and they got to rematch Washington, a couple of other schools in there, Nebraska, BYU. So it's exciting to see that that tournament's going to grow each and every year.
Well, I got to believe it will, and that's where Triple Crown has done a great job with kind of filling in some of the blanks in the college landscape on what's missing, whether it's early season softball tournaments or some postseason events, basketball. Little chopper into left field for a base hit. So Willingham with the single that's going to provide the first run for the Fury as Jenna Johnson comes across.
Now batting, number 7, Mac Henry.
So Logaleo with the base hit and the RBI. Willingham advanced all the way to third base, and Johnson scored. So it's a 5-1 game. Here's Mackenzie Henry, the cleanup hitter. Hit a hard comebacker that Pito knocked down and made a play on back in the first. Good pitch in for a strike. Send the count to 0-2. Wouldn't be a youth event if a parent didn't have the video camera out, just in case. And I'm guilty as charged. I do the same thing.
It's too easy.
It's going to be back and out of play. How much did you use video in your pitching days? Was it something that you looked at, either your mechanics or maybe the opposing hitters?
Oh, yeah. Especially now, with the way that college softball has developed, you have multiple networks that air a ton of shows.
Willingham is out at third base as White played the hard comebacker.
Great play and heads up in the circle by Riley White.
Now batting, number 58.
She gets the ball right away, and you can see third base runner just hesitating a little bit too much going towards home plate. And so I love that the pitcher has the presence of mind to turn around and get that out at third base.
Willingham says, "Are you kidding me? Look at that expression." She thought she got back in there. Problem was, it looked like she was going to be out so far in advance. It's Kaya Keller-Smith, the first baseman, who popped out to second, her only time in. So there's a run home for the Fury this inning, but they'd certainly like to get more. Trailing by 4 to the SoCal As. They're in our 16U game. Kaya Keller-Smith, some of the famous athletes in her family. How about Derek Thomas and Kenny Smith? We're going football and basketball. Pitch in the dirt, and it's 2-1.
We've seen a lot of that this weekend. Just the genetics coming through in the families. It's been pretty cool to see who has some famous athletes in their blood.
From what I understand, former NFL wide receiver TJ Husmanzada was coaching a team that lost in a semifinal game and unable to appear in our game. There's a roller into center, a play at the plate, not in time. Scoring is Logaleo. And it's a 5-2 game as Keller-Smith advances down to second base after the RBI base hit.
Tennessee Fury kind of taking a page out of the SoCal Athletics, just simple ground balls, finding holes, using base runners. Good speed, Logaleo coming around from second base all the way, no hesitation. Close play at the plate, but able to slide feet first.
So Kaylee Harding in now. It was still a 5-0 game just a couple of minutes ago, but a base hit could make it a 1-run contest. Harding sends one to center, but it will be caught by Paris Chica in center. So 2-run score and a couple of runners left on through.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Aurora Sports Park for this 16U Power Pool Championship match between Athletics Mercado and the Tennessee Fury Platinum. Now, let's meet tonight's teams. First, the non-starters for Athletics Mercado. Number 1, Alexi Sosa. Number 28, Destiny Nori. Number 24, Riley White. And number 57, Shannon Bustamante.
At the Aurora Sports Park in Aurora, Colorado, as Triple Crown presents the Sparkler Fireworks, the world's largest softball event. We're going to crown a 16U Power Pool champion tonight. It is the Athletics Mercado out of California and the Tennessee Fury out of Chattanooga. Here's a few more details on this event. Again, the 15th year for the Sparkler, 48 years for the fireworks, 900 teams from all 50 states, more than 500 college coaches playing 3,000 games over 133 fields. And welcome back to Aurora. Again, I'm Brett Dolan with Mackenzie Fowler, the two-time All-American pitcher at Arizona. We had a very competitive, entertaining 14U game. What are you expecting out of this 16U contest?
Exactly the same thing. This is two premier teams. This is the Athletics Mercado team, who has been one of the most premier teams in the nation. This is a team that won 12U and 14U national championships. Now they're a 16U team. Almost every player is committed to a big-time school. And Tennessee Fury, almost half of their team is committed to a school as well. You know, they wanted to show their stuff on the big stage tonight.
These two teams used to going very deep in tournaments. They're in the championship game tonight. Let's introduce you to the third member of our crew, Brittany Fowler.
Thanks, guys. There's a notable history with these two teams at this tournament specifically. The Athletics were 14U champs for 2 years in a row, and then the Fury were the 16U runner-up. And the teams haven't changed much, maybe by 1 or 2 players. So it's going to be a really fun night of softball.
Said Brittany. Let's take a look at the lineups here from the SoCal As. Jasmine Parachica will lead off. Then it's Quincy Lilio. Garcia, designated player at third. Kinsey Hansen will catch. Paige Smith will be at third base. Then you've got the pitcher, Mata Fapito, followed by Kayla Edwards, Raylene Gutierrez, Presley Pylon, just part of the lineup for the SoCal As. So Tennessee Fury will be the home team. Again, they're based out of Chattanooga. We'll take a look at their defensive alignment here in just a moment, as well as their pitcher in the circle here in the 16U. High to Parachica. Looks like we have a new catcher in the game as well. Kaylee Harding. All of a sudden, Shelby Walters starting to dial into the zone. She left the bases loaded in the third inning, struck out Shane to start the fourth. It's 1-2 here to Parachica. Woodside's been busy at third. What a strong arm for out number 2.
Yeah, perfectly positioned as well. Parachica has shown that she's a slap hitter trying to get that bounce, so Woodside in, shows off the cannon of the arm. Look at that view.
Almost looks like we're at the Masters. The flowers and summertime. We know we're not in Tucson with that look.
These flowers would be melting.
Lilio 2 for 2, steps in. Couple of base hits. She scored a run, swiped to base. So the SoCal As have scored in every inning. A chance here for Walters to have a 1-2-3 perfect fourth. She gets the high strike. So much success for this SoCal As team over the last couple of years. Jumped out to a 5-0 lead in this championship game. That's well placed, 1-2, and all of a sudden Walters not only pumping strikes, but seemingly hitting her spots.
Seems like her velocity is up as well. Really locating that outside drop ball. Getting ahead of hitters, and she can kind of move it around where she wants.
That one lined over Coach Mercado. So Lilio trying to get another base hit. Hey, nobody using the bench, everybody up near the screen. And you always know where the cameras are.
I like that some of the players weren't shy about it. Sometimes players try to play like, oh, we don't know the camera's there. Embrace it.
The Oklahoma commit Lilio lifting one in the air to left field. Sheffield over and will make a nice catch. So Shelby Walters, a perfect top of the fourth inning. Fury coming into bat, trailing by 3.
And fireworks, whatever your game, softball, basketball, baseball, or volleyball. Treat your team right with destination location.
So you love your game? So does he. You say ain't nobody gonna work harder? He said the same thing. You get an hour of training in before the sun even comes up, plenty of early risers out there. You got the gear, they got the gear. You got a secret weapon, this dude doesn't need one. See, this isn't just a game of inches, this is a game of ounces. And the next ounce you give might just be the one the other guy doesn't. Gatorade, rehydrate, replenish, and refuel.
Very busy place here in Aurora all day long with several games, a couple of championship games, a skills competition, a home run derby. But in our 16U Power Pool Championship game, it's a 5-2 contest in favor of the SoCal As as we go to the bottom of the fourth and they bring on another new pitcher.
Shannon Bustamante, 2020 commit to Loyola Marymount University. The third pitcher that we've seen thus far for the SoCal As.
She wants to be a doctor someday. Right now, she's trying to operate through the bottom of the lineup here on the bottom of the fourth and maintain this 3-run lead for the SoCal As. But Cheyenne Sheffield to round down that foul ball in foul territory to win the top of the inning is in and takes a strike to begin the frame. Bustamante from Temecula, California. You got to see all the coaches attending. That is a big list. We weren't kidding. We mentioned more than 500 coaches are here.
Yeah, when when I was playing club ball, this was one of my favorite weeks of the year, if not my favorite week of the year. I mean, you always think about nationals, qualifiers, but this one week in Colorado, when it seems like almost every club softball player is in the same state, there's just a little bit different energy.
We just talked about that a couple of innings ago. A lot of these players that have already committed, where do you find some of the motivation to continue to get better? Sometimes it's measuring yourself against players from different states, different regions of the country. And here we have this Tennessee versus California matchup after having 2 Tampa teams in our 14U game. High and foul, maybe a playable opportunity, but what an effort out in right field by Edwards to lay out, try and make that catch. Kayla checking to make sure her arm's okay.
She went a long way to go get this ball. I thought no chance. She made that look so close.
I'm with you off the bat. I thought no way she's going to get there, and she had some closing speed. Sheffield lifts this one down the left field side, but it'll hit over the railing. Boy, Sheffield and her speed can get on here in the 4th inning. She can cause some problems for a Fury team that put a couple of runs on the board in the 3rd, but what we've not had is a long ball yet in this contest. Let's watch Sheffield run down the line, but retired on a strong throw from Currow at short. Seneca Currow. Looks like Destiny Norrie got moved into short, so Norrie with the play.
Number 8, Paxton Grimes.
Paxton Grimes, the batter, with 1 gone in the bottom of the 4th. Couldn't lay off the high one. So Bustamante retires the first batter she faces, the 3rd pitcher again used by Coach Mercado. There's the LMU for Loyola Marymount in her jersey.
Yeah, that's a really nice touch to some of the jerseys. You can see all of the commitments right there on their sleeve. It's like they're wearing their heart on the sleeve, playing for the school that they'll be walking on in a couple of years.
See, in college basketball, you wouldn't be able to do that. The kid would change his mind 4 times before signing day.
Or football.
You're right. But in softball, you're wearing your loyalties on your shoulder. And for the coaches that are here, you don't even need a roster, right? You can walk over and look, no, hope you. Wait, there's an opportunity.
There's an open space. I'm going to sneak my name in.
Put my logo right there.
Right. A little free advertising as well, right?
There's a Rebel, future Rebel. Well, we haven't had a home run in this game yet, and we haven't had one now either. How about the catch from Paris Chica? Jasmine tracked it down and ended up in the netting.
Playing a little bit over, so gets a good jump all the way back, communicating with her teammate Edwards out in right field. Comes up with the grab, tracking that all the way down, even falling in the net.
Boy, Jasmine had a long run, made the play. Coach Candrea will like that effort in a few years.
Yeah, Coach Candrea loves his speedy outfielders, I'll tell you that.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Aurora Sports Park for this 16U Power Pool Championship match between Athletics Mercado and the Tennessee Fury Platinum. Now let's meet tonight's teams. First, the non-starters for Athletics Mercado. Number 1, Alexi Sosa. Number 28, Destiny Nori. Number 24, Riley White. And number 57, Shannon Bustamante. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Aurora Sports Park for this 16U Power Pool Championship match between Athletics Mercado and the Tennessee Fury Platinum. Now let's meet tonight's teams. First, the non-starters for Athletics Mercado. Number 1, Alexi Sosa. Number 28, Destiny Nori. Number 24, Riley White. And number 57, Shannon Bustamante.
At the Aurora Sports Park in Aurora, Colorado, as Triple Crown presents the Sparkler Fireworks, the world's largest softball event. We're going to crown a 16U Power Pool champion tonight. It is the Athletics Mercado out of California and the Tennessee Fury out of Chattanooga. Here's a few more details on this event. Again, the 15th year for the Sparkler, 48 years for the fireworks, 900 teams from all 50 states, more than 500 college coaches playing 3,000 games over 133 fields. And welcome back to Aurora. Again, I'm Brett Dolan with Mackenzie Fowler, the two-time All-American pitcher at Arizona. We had a very competitive, entertaining 14U game. What are you expecting out of this 16U contest?
Exactly the same thing. This is two premier teams. This is the Athletics Mercado team, who has been one of the most premier teams in the nation. This is a team that won 12U and 14U national championships. Now they're a 16U team. Almost every player is committed to a big-time school. And Tennessee Fury, almost half of their team is committed to a school as well. You know, they wanted to show their stuff on the big stage tonight.
These two teams used to going very deep in tournaments. They're in the championship game tonight. Let's introduce you to the third member of our crew, Brittany Fowler.
Thanks, guys. There's a notable history with these two teams at this tournament specifically. The Athletics were 14U champs for 2 years in a row, and then the Fury were the 16U runner-ups. And the teams haven't changed much, maybe by 1 or 2 players. So it's going to be a really fun night of softball.
Said Brittany. Let's take a look at the lineups here from the SoCal As. Jasmine Parachica will lead off. Then it's Quincy Lilio. Garcia, designated player at third. Kinsey Hansen will catch. Paige Smith will be at third base. Then you've got the pitcher, Mata Faapito.
Oh, but what a way to start your first at bat in your first inning.
Kinsey Hansen, the catcher and the cleanup hitter. Now in, this game has really kind of settled down over the last inning or so. Boy, that one missed. Hansen's 0 for 2, but you see she did pick up an RBI and a ground out in the first inning. 2 of the runs the A's have scored have come on ground outs. And they were able to push a few across against Shelby Walters, taking advantage of some free base runners with some walks. Three and 0. Swinging away, 3-0. And a bouncer to third, and Woodside will make the play. So 2 up, 2 down against Allison Farr.
Yeah, started off with the strikeout and then went 3 balls to Hansen, but Hansen swinging away. 3-0 count. Why not in this game, though? Get your hacks in. I like it.
Caitlyn Woodside, you see here at third base, she's been extremely busy over there at third. Manning the hot corner. Good pitch, strike 1 call to Paige Smith, the third baseman. Couple of ground outs in her ledger. Hard liner in the center for a base hit. So after the strikeout and the ground out, Smith will continue the top of the 5th.
Great swing here from the Ole Miss commit. Just takes a pitch low and in, able to stay on it up the middle.
Riley White, the batter. This was the spot that Fapito had to begin with, and White will single into left field. So she's up there hacking on the first one and deposits one in front of Sheffield, and there's 2 runners on with 2 outs here in the 5th.
Now at the plate, number 3, Kayla Edwards.
Now it's up to Kayla Edwards, and she's been busy. We've seen her out in right field, but also 2 hits. And she scored a run. Good pitch from Farr to start the sequence with strike 1. Edwards from Temecula, California. Down the left field line, and that's foul by 10 or 15 feet.
She didn't even get all of that. She was a little bit out in front. That ball was almost a home run, but foul.
Last inning was the first frame. The SoCal As did not score. They went in order. 2 quick outs to start this 5th before back-to-back singles. 2 strikes on Edwards, and she will go down on strikes to end the 5th inning. Allison Farr works around a couple of singles, and the SoCal As unable to add to their lead. It's still 5-2 over the Fury here in our 16U Power Pool Championship game. So this one looks like early with the A's up 5-0. They might run away, but a good contest. And let's go down to the field, check in with Brittany.
Thanks, guys. I'm down here with Coach Thomas. Coach, you guys are so close to tying it there in the 3rd inning. What would you say your team's struggling with the most right now?
Well, we started out a little nervous, and they utilized the hard turf in the first couple innings. A lot of hard ground balls bouncing over our heads, up the middle, and but you know, give them credit for that. We came back in the 1st. Their pitcher made a great play on a line drive up the middle to save them 2 runs. And then we hit a couple balls, like I said a while ago, that they were sitting on the fence to catch. So the score could be very different. We're not, we're hanging in there. I'm proud of the way they're playing, and we're going to fight our way back.
Now, we talked earlier, you and your assistant have been coaching together for 20 years. I'm curious to know, what have you noticed that's changed a lot, either in the game of softball or even in the recruiting process?
You just named it. The recruiting has gotten much different, start much earlier. It's making the coaches' jobs difficult, but it's fun. It's exciting to see the coaches out here, and we appreciate the opportunity to play in this game, and this broadcast is great, and our girls are loving it.
Thanks, Coach.
Right.
Back to you guys.
Boy, Coach Thomas, he could make an analyst. He broke down this entire game between the close plays and the near misses and some of the ground balls that got through from the A's.
That's a guy that you know has been around a game for a very long time. Going back, his daughter now 30 years old and doesn't have a daughter playing at all, just wants to coach for the love of the game. It's pretty special.
There's Jenna Johnson, the leadoff hitter. Coach Thomas said once his daughters were done, they went out to see 8-, 9-year-olds play. Sat around for a couple of days, identified the best athletes, and said, let's build a team again. Let's do it all over again.
And that's how you got to build a team. When you start an 8U or Little League, Baja Leagues, Just go find the best athletes on the field. And then the coaches can kind of teach them the tricks of the trade, teach them mechanics, and take them the rest of the way.
Bustamante misses to Johnson. Bustamante had a quick 1-2-3 fourth inning. She's the third pitcher utilized by the SoCal As tonight. Trying to keep the leadoff hitter Johnson off the bases. That one lifted to left center, but it will not travel enough. And caught out there in left center for out number 1 by Lilio.
Now batting, number 32, Josie Willingham.
4 up, 4 down for Bustamante. Josie Willingham in. Been on base a couple of times, still looking for that first hit, however, and up there hacking on the first pitch. Yeah, get the giraffes and penguins out. That might help. Giraffes for homers, penguins for hits. Did I have that right? Another play for Lilio. Boy, she had a long run to come in and get there and put it away for out number 2.
Well, they're definitely swinging for the giraffes.
Now batting,
right.
number 16, Aaliyah Logaleo.
Lilio going back to the fence in the first pop-up. This one having to come in, communicate with their shortstop. It's a tough ball for the outfielder coming all that way into the infield.
In our first game, the way the winds were blowing out, that may have been against the fence.
Yeah, that wind was so strong in the first game.
Can Lilio get another one? Not this time. Great effort. That one off the bat of Logaleo, and she's going to have extra bases. Not content to stop at second. She's going to come to third, and she's going to be out to end the inning. A double, but even when Lilio didn't make the catch, able to get up, track down the ball, and a strong throw into third. Results of the final out. Let's watch this play for the beginning.
Great piece. Lilio, so athletic, going around. A little bit of a hesitation at first base, but wheeling all the way to third base. But the pick at third base by Smith over there, the tag applied. Watch the glove work here, staying on Lilio.
Put it right in her face mask. Let's check in with Brittany.
I am down here with Cheyenne Sheffield. So you put something interesting in your bio. You said that you can say your ABCs backwards. I'd really like to hear that.
Yes, I can. ZYXWVT SRQP ONM LKJI HEF EDCBA.
Look at that. You got talent on the field and in the classroom, right? Thanks, guys.
She could have cheated, and I would have missed a few in there.
Any other talents? I mean,
we've seen some juggling.
yeah, we
of
saw some
of the
juggling
players.
earlier. Yep.
Say your ABCs backwards. Here's a good look at the Aurora Sports Park. This has been a busy place today, and we're kind of wrapping things up tonight with the 16U Power Pool Championship game. Still a few more innings to go. It's a 5-0 lead after 2.5 innings for the SoCal As, but it remains 5-2. And looked like the Fury had something going there with a 2-out triple, possibly, but Logaleo was gunned down. So now the A's batting here in the 6th inning. Allison Farr had a scoreless 5th in her first inning of relief after Shelby Walters pitched 4 innings. So Farr back out there. She'll face the bottom half of the lineup here in the top of the 6th. Raylene Gutierrez ready to begin this frame.
Leading off the inning, number 55, Raylene Gutierrez.
So the SoCal As have yet to have an extra base hit in this game, and yet they were able to get runners on and certainly put balls in play. Although Gutierrez takes strike 1, so they've not even put a ball in the gap yet in this one.
No, just simple softball, station to station. Majority of the innings, they've gotten that leadoff batter on, found a way to move her over, solid base running.
And that one's a foul ball off the bat of Gutierrez. Sheffield will have to chase, so she did her ABCs backwards, and now she'll have to go retrieve.
I wonder how you learned that. Must be something in grade school where you sing it as a song. Or why would you learn that? That's the other question.
Boy, Harding held that pitch there for an extra second just for a look. They didn't get the strike 3 call. Cheyenne Sheffield. This one will be tracked down by the shortstop, Willingham. So Josie makes the catch, and there's one gone. Well, she's covered in Colorado dirt head to toe.
Now batting, number 99, Presley Pylon.
Presley Pylon. Another batter that steps in there from the left side. Far's pumping some strikes. Couple of ground outs.
Yeah, a couple of strikeouts last inning as well.
In the air to center, and Johnson will make the catch. Jenna Johnson without number 2.
29, Reagan
So far
Shane.
continues to get outs. As Reagan Shane, the bottom of the lineup, will bat. She's collected a hit tonight for the SoCal As. Chopper into the hole. Willingham with a throw to first, not in time. And Shane beats out her second infield hit of the game.
I'd like to see this again. This is a really good piece of slapping. We saw it in her first at bat in the second inning. Good call, beats it out.
You mentioned just getting that big bounce, that quick bounce, and that was a case where Willingham had to wait for it. And even with a strong and accurate throw, unable to get Shane.
Yeah, that bounce is so critical because it doesn't matter where the infielders are playing. If it's in the air, you can run as long as you want.
Do you want to pitch slappers in more? Are you fearful that you're pitching into their wheelhouse, or are they looking to go opposite way where maybe they might not be able to handle a pitch in?
Well, they're definitely looking for something away, but I've found that if you bring it in, sometimes they can just be a little bit shorter to the ball and get even a bigger hop. So slappers are so tough and pesky to deal with.
That one is fouled off the bat of Paris Chica.
You just want to make sure you try to get them to somehow pop it up, because when they get it on the ground is when they do their damage. So a lot of times I throw a lot of rise balls trying to get in on the hands to a slapper, try and get her pop it up in the air.
That's Kenzie. This is Brett. We're in the dark.
Literally.
Yes, we are in multiple ways. Paris Chica robbed a home run earlier in this game. Walked and scored when she led things off. Well, that one came inside. Runner going down to second base, and safe is Shane with the bag. So the SoCal As, they played a lot of small ball today, and an infield hit, a stolen base. Maybe a base hit away from getting some insurance here in the top of the 6th inning of this 16U Power Pool Championship game. Willingham hurries the throw across the diamond and ends the inning. That's 2 scoreless for Allison Farr in relief. The Fury need to see if their bats can come alive. They're down 5-2.
Softball coaches from all competitive levels of play. More than coaches, the NFC members include umpires, clubs, businesses, and fans. Over 4,000 members from all 50 states and 10 countries, uniting together to advance the sport we love. Visit nfca.org.
Here's your line score. 5 runs on 9 hits for the SoCal As. 2 runs on 4 hits for the Tennessee Fury. Fury will get to look at a new pitcher here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Lexi Sosa.
2019 commit to UCLA, and the 4th and I think final pitcher that we will see from the SoCal As.
She's supposed to have pretty good velocity, and she'll pop in a strike to start the bottom of the 6th. Mackenzie Henry, the cleanup hitter, to lead off this frame. And that one clipped her. So Sosa hits the first batter that she faces.
See where this pitch rides in on Henry. Does the right thing, turns away, but ball catches her anyway on the arm.
Now batting, number 58, Kaya Keller-Smith.
So the San Diego native works with a runner on. Here's Kaya Keller-Smith, the first baseman. She singled in a run back in the 3rd that made this a 5-2 game. We've not changed the score since as she fouls one off. So indeed, Lexi Sosa, the 4th pitcher used by the SoCal As. Lisa Fernandez, her favorite softball player, rolled a foul wide to 3rd, and when asked about her hobbies, she just said, softball's my life. There's no time for hobbies.
Sounds about right. I can relate a lot to that.
But a long one here from Smith would make this a 1-run game. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Sosa. Another one sprayed foul down the right side. Able to lay off that high one, 2-2. Kaya Keller-Smith says she wants to give a shout out to all the people who've been there for her. I love you, she says. Echoing a message that a lot of these players have passed along through us to their family and friends back at home. 1 hopper to short, chance for a force at second, a chance for a double play, but not in time. Nori to pylon to force the lead runner.
Now batting, number 3, Kaylee Harding.
There's Kayla Harding. Harding is 0 for 2. Lifting one to deep center. We've got ourselves a 1-run game. Paris Chica couldn't catch that one, and Harding's homers made this a 5-4 contest. We've heard about the power from the Fury, and there it was.
On the first pitch, Harding, this pitch a little bit up, a little bit in, steps in the bucket a little bit, clears her hands. Beautiful swing, and you see the power. Like you said, Perez Chica, we've seen her make a ton of catches. I love that she goes all out trying to track that ball. It's so tough for these outfielders without a warning track, those breakaway fences. Just going back as far as she can, but that ball way too far gone.
And she got the giraffe.
There's a giraffe right there.
So all of a sudden, a 1-run game. Here's Sheffield. Take strike 1. But Paris Chica, though, I mean, she went over both poles in the fence, right on over, chasing that one. And you're right, with no warning track, you just don't know when to expect that contact. Roller to third. Sheffield can run. What a stretch at first by Gutierrez on the throw from Smith. Come in the dugout, and where's the giraffe? There it is.
How did she get that? Someone give it to her?
Now batting number 8.
Did she have it when she was hitting?
Grimes.
Power of the giraffe. There you go.
Who was our coach earlier that said softball players just a little bit different
Yeah.
than the boys? It's Paxton Grimes bats with 2 in and 2 out. This was a 5-0 game at one point, now a 5-4 contest, so the Fury right back in. Pretty good job by Hansen to try and frame that pitch and bring it up a bit. Call wasn't given, it's 2-0. So Sosa trying to get the final out here in the 6th. Nori in time at first. The back-to-back groundouts in the 6th, but Harding had the 2-run bomb. She's getting the gear on. We go to the 7th. We've got ourselves a 1-run game.
How could I hear ya? Let's go get 'em. I can't get near you now. Let's go get 'em. Oh, well, crumble. Let's go get 'em. Oh, well, crumble.
But I think more than anything, you know, we all do the same thing, and the proudest thing you ever get to call yourself a coach, and all the young women that we get to help grow up. Because the NCAA was just such a fantastic job of keeping us on our mission and our eye on the ball.
Six innings in the books. We go to the 7th inning in our 16U Power Pool game, presented by Triple Crown Sports. One time it was 5-0, now 5-4. So the SoCal As would like to find some insurance here in the top of the 7th inning. Oh, there's the giraffe.
That is some good investigative work there by our crew. I had to know when she got the giraffe because coming into the dugout, I mean, I was wondering, did she have it in her pocket? But no, mystery solved. Gets it when she crosses home plate.
I guess it has to be an immediate transaction. They couldn't wait a couple of extra seconds to give it to her. If they pass the giraffe in the bottom of the 7th, it might mean a win for the Fury. Here's Lilio. She has a couple of base hits in the game. Heart of the lineup here in the 7th, and there's the resting spot. It looks rather comfortable next to the Gatorade Cup. Our crew will go to no ends to get to the bottom of this story.
Our crew's been on it all weekend.
Indeed. This is our 4th game, and when you have an all-star game as we did last night, the All-American game, that was 24-10. Busy night for the
60
crew.
players.
That one fouled away, and Allison Farr, who's come on in relief, has thrown 2 scoreless innings, trying to put up another 0 here in the 7th to give her team a chance to come back and possibly tie or win this game. So Lilio attempting to get that 3rd base hit. A stop at short. It's safe at first again as Lilio. So Willingham laid out. But this is what the A's have done. Get their leadoff man on. You see Willingham maybe drifting a bit to her right, then got to the softball, but knew she had no play.
Well,
Now
interesting that
number 1,
that's the first base runner the SoCal
Sosa.
A's has had on base in that leadoff spot since back in the 3rd inning, which was coincidentally the last time they scored.
So we'll see if they can execute their formula, get them on and then move them over. And Lexi Sosa, who's in the game to pitch, will stay in to hit for the first time. See the UCLA on her sleeve. She gave up a couple of runs in the bottom of the 6th and gets a chance to show off her skills in the box.
I love that standing in to hit. UCLA, of course, had a freshman phenom this year in Rachel Garcia, their ace pitcher, but also one of their best hitters. Saw her have a couple great hits in the World Series, and Sosa, one of those pitcher hitters as well.
That ball is just absolutely tattooed. We've talked about the A's not having an extra base hit tonight. That has changed on a ringing double from the pitcher, Sosa. Ball was a clothesline to the gap.
Now batting, number 7, Kenzie Henson.
Her first at bat right on time. This pitch a little up, but too much over the white. Beautiful swing. I love that slow-mo shot. You can see her get to contact and runs well for a pitcher. She got to second in a hurry. I shouldn't say runs well for a pitcher, but I was not fast, so.
Indirect comparison.
I can kind of own that position a little bit.
Kenzie Hansen's 0 for 3 as the cleanup hitter, even with an RBI, but she is second and third with nobody out. Get that ponytail out of the way before she's ready to go to work. And Allison Farr able to start ahead with strike 1. You go Sooner, Bruin, Sooner in the commits here in this lineup in the 7th inning. More representatives from that College World Series at Oklahoma City, including the champion. Boomers everywhere this weekend. Stroke to right, and that's down for a base hit. 1 run will score. The throw went to first. It was rather close, but Hansen gets her first hit and her second RBI, and has provided some insurance for the SoCal As. Now a 6-4 game.
Now batting, number 9.
Look how far that ball was off the
Smith.
plate, and she's able to get her hands on it. 6 feet tall, a long reach. She knows she just has to get that ball out to the grass some way, no outs.
First and third for Paige Smith. She singled against Farr in the 5th, so facing her now for the second time. Coach Mercado's A's have not trailed in this game ever since they scored a run in the 1st and 2 in the 2nd. They saw it trimmed to 1 last inning. Now building up some insurance tallies before the Fury bats in the bottom of the 7th. Smith. This ball should be caught and will by Sheffield. Sosa's going to tag and score with the 7th run. So a productive trip around the bases for Sosa. She got the double, scores a run.
Mata Fa'apito.
Fa'apito, who started the game on the mound and in the batting lineup, returns. So Fa'apito will bat with a runner at first, 1 gone, and 2 runs in the bank here in the 7th inning. First couple of runs scored against Farr after she had 2 scoreless in the 5th and 6th.
Yeah, but it all goes back to that leadoff batter. Every time that the SoCal As has gotten a leadoff batter on, they've scored. 3 innings between the 4th and the 5th and the 6th, where Farr was able to retire that first batter, and they didn't score.
Made a huge difference. Johnson in center records the 2nd out. Fa'apito wasted a little time putting that one in play. Now 2 gone here in the 7th inning.
Now batting number 3, Kayla Edwards.
Here's Kayla Edwards. She has 2 hits. The SoCal As team. A little deflating, I'm sure, for the Fury, who made this a 5-4 game with that 2-run homer from Harding in the bottom of the 6th. You see the A's get 2 back in the 7th, not done yet. Edwards in that crouch. Takes one a little bit in, 2 balls and a strike.
Edwards in her last at bat against Farr struck out, so looking to have a little bit better at bat. Ahead in the count, 2-1.
All 3 outfielders with a putout this inning for the Fury, but a couple of runs come across, a couple of big tallies for the SoCal As. Furies down to their final 3 outs, trailing by 3 runs.
In the lab, proven on the field. Gatorade Thirst Quencher, the proven sports fuel.
Two runs for the Fury in their 6th inning, 2 for the A's in the top of the 7th. So the Fury out of Tennessee down to their final 3 outs. Everybody on that front step near the railing. Sosa back for his 2nd inning, working with the new catcher, Alyssa Garcia. Chula Vista, California native, committed to UCLA. Gonna catch Sosa.
Little future UCLA battery here.
Indeed. Woodside, and then she'll turn the lineup over for Johnson and Willingham. Good pitch. Woodside has walked and fly to center. Strike given, 1-2.
Inside for a strike. Goes away, outside. Garcia really working behind the plate.
Fury want to get a couple of base runners on and see what they might be able to do. They've had the 1 home run in this game. There's the home run giraffe, just in case it needs to be transferred. They take a couple of penguins, though, before the giraffe.
I was going to say, don't leave out the penguin.
Who's going to get there? It'll be the shortstop, Nori. For out number 1.
Now batting number 88, Jenna Johnson.
Looks like Curro back in, so they've switched up shortstops on us a couple of times.
Just because they can.
Because they can.
And why not? It's the last inning.
Back to the top of the lineup in Jenna Johnson. Fury down to their final 2 outs. Johnson, though, scored a run for Tennessee. That came back in the 3rd inning. snaps right into Garcia's glove for strike one.
Yeah, you can hear Garcia pop her glove right before the pitch and kind of locate, let Sosa know where she wants it. And Sosa really working with her so far, but you can hear the pop of the glove right there. Oof.
Garcia tried to bring that pitch back up a little bit and frame it.
That's a good spot. I want that as a pitcher right there. My off speed, knee high.
There's the pop of the glove. There's the pitch. Shot foul, strike two.
I love that. As a pitcher, that fires me up. Hear that catcher pop her glove. This is where I want the pitch. Give it to me.
Is it as much a motivation thing or is it more a location issue?
I think it's just a little bit of both, but you can hear the pop right here, and then she kind of flashes a location where she wants it. It's up to the pitcher to execute.
It's rather emphatic the way she pounds that glove, too. Two and two.
It's loud.
Just sent a cloud of dust up in the air.
It's a great shot.
Fouled off, and the count stays at 2-2. Takes a couple of base runners for the Fury to bring the tying run to the plate. Hit a mile in the air down the left field line. Home run distance, but foul. You don't get half a giraffe on that one, but that ball was hit well.
I don't think we've gotten tired of the giraffe jokes yet. I'm gonna stretch them out, see how long they can go.
Well, for the SoCal A's, Sosa right now, the fourth pitcher to hold his Fury team to just one home run. It's been a big part in this game. Coach told us more than 40 in 3.5 tournaments. That's a ton. And that is what? Ball 3. A's wanted a strikeout. Jenna Johnson thought it was ball 4. Out of all that, it's 3-2.
Meet in the middle.
Drill to center, but traveling right to Paris Chica. Jasmine has been busy in center, and there's 2 outs. Fury down to their final out.
No batting.
For Woodside, you can't really square a ball up much better than that. And a great at bat, fouling off a bunch of pitches, but just unfortunately hitting it right to center field in Paris Chica.
Josie Willingham just covered in dust from her efforts at short today. This walk, she's 0 for 2, down to their final out. Fury not throwing in the towels just yet. Getting towards the heart of their lineup. They can get some base runners on. Now the Fury down to their final strike. Sosa has not had a strikeout in her inning in 2/3. One here would end the game and win the 16U Power Pool Championship. Another one smoked well foul down the left side. We had an 8-5 score in our 14U game, a 3-run contest. We've got a 3-run game here in the bottom of the 7th. 2 outs, 2 strikes. And that will do it. A strikeout from Sosa on Willingham to end the game in the SoCal As Mercado with a 7-4 win over the Tennessee Fury.
Athletics Mercado 7.
Fun game to watch, though. Only 1 home run, but just really solid softball, good base running. The final out from Sosa, that pitch, a good curveball, a good look behind the plate. Garcia, who had been working the glove.
in the SoCal As. Kenzie, we saw it all game long. Once they got their leadoff runners on, they caused a lot of damage. They used 4 pitchers. Sosa gets the final out, and with just 1 extra base hit, a double in this game, they get 12 hits and score 7 runs, and they played small ball extremely well.
Yeah, 2 talented ball clubs, though, and just really exciting for the future of softball. These young women will be gracing our screens again in a couple of years at their respected schools, and the future looks really good. Club softball is doing it right. The mechanics, the way these ladies were playing the game, playing it hard, a lot of passion. Everything looks good.
It's a great way to wrap up our 4 games of coverage over 2 days. Our crew's done an outstanding job, and a special thank you to Triple Crown Sports for all of their efforts. For Mackenzie Fowler and Brittany Fowler, I'm Brett Dolan saying so long from the Aurora Sports Park in Aurora, Colorado. Our final score, the SoCal As win it over the Tennessee Fury 7-4. All games airing on the ESPN networks or streaming live on the ESPN app, or you can watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games in our family of ESPN networks. Log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Good night, everyone.